Hi, I'm Matthew Neal, and welcome to a breath of fresh footy. I'm really looking forward to talking about the EPL and the team that I follow, Arsenal in particular, when it comes to football. And I think we are going really well this year so far, especially being able to match it with Liverpool in the Community Shield. I know that it's like a friendly, but they're always good signs to see that we're competing against the best. And of course, our wonderful 3-0 victory over Fulham was just a tactical masterclass. But before I go into details, this show, The Breath of Fresh Footy, will be a forum where people like myself and my friends will talk about their respective football teams. So I'll be getting guests who are Man United fans potentially, or could be Man City or Chelsea fans or Liverpool fans or Wolves fans, whatever it is. Wolves, I'll say that correctly, Wolves. Um, but I'll be trying to get a very broad perspective on how people are thinking this season of the EPL, the 2020 season, is going to go like. And I think it'll be a really interesting forum, as there won't be any live games with people or crowds inside the stadium. So the best way that we can do and support our teams are to create these sort of podcasts. The Breath of Fresh Footy will be viewpoints from all the individuals and how they see the game. We're not expecting people to agree with what we say or what we think. It is just purely observational. And of course, each person that comes on to this program will definitely have their club in mind and the club's viewpoints that they see really clearly. So for me, this year in particular, I'll be focusing on Arsenal, but also I'll be focusing on Man City a little bit as I go for Melbourne City in Australia here in Melbourne. And they are the team that actually supports that club and have kept them really relevant in the A-League with them making the grand final this year. So I'll keep a smallish coverage on Man City because of that. But as you can see, I am through and through Arsenal. And today's show is all about our fantastic victory over the weekend, where we won 3-0. And I thought it was a really convincing performance. It wasn't as open or as fluent as I would have liked to have seen in a game. I love seeing it when, there's lots of goals in the games. However, when it comes to actually the finesse and the tactics of soccer, you cannot say anything else, but that was a masterclass by Arsenal. I didn't think it would be that easy. I predicted that we would have goals scored against. I predicted a 5-3 because our defence has been really suspect over the last 5 years. However, our defence was strong. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how much of a difference a 6'4" new 22-year-old Gabriel would cause such a difference in that defence. Unbelievable. We've been missing this since the glory days in the early 2000s and late 1990s. That presence, we've always had it with Tony Adams. We had it with Sol Campbell. Bless him for coming over from Spurs. Supposedly a Spurs fan knew exactly where to go, straight to the Gunners, and won so many trophies. However, we haven't had that defence. We haven't had that structure. We haven't had the tall bodies apart from now. Excellent that they were able to get Aubameyang into the team a couple of years ago, and looks like he'll be signing a £250,000 pound a week deal for the next 3 years with add-ons. So if he does hit those target clauses, could be 1 year or 2 years at £375,000 per week. Phew, that is a lot of money during these COVID times. And, you know, me being a fan personally of Arsenal, the people who've had to lose their jobs and sacrifice their jobs for the betterment of the club, we really feel sorry for you, and we hope that when COVID is over there and when it's finished and we've got this vaccine, that some of those people hopefully will be able to get their jobs back in the future, so that they can go back to their hospitality, create that atmosphere that we need inside the Emirates, which can be a bit dead. But hopefully with this convincing win and the signings that we've had or we're going to make over the next month before the transfer season is over, will be a huge help in regenerating or reinvigorating the Emirates. Because personally, I wished our home ground was at Wembley. We just seem to turn up, especially when it's cup finals. I mean, we've only lost 2 in the last 10 years there, which were League Cup games. But we've won semi-finals in League Cups, we've won FA Cups galore whenever we've been in there. And we seem to turn up in the Community Shield, even though it's a friendly. So Wembley is a happy, happy, happy hunting ground. But we need to get into more details of this game. So my thoughts were the man of the match was Willian. Absolutely phenomenal for a 32-year-old. I know he's losing his pace a little bit, but he's got brains, that guy. What an absolute bargain to get him for free. Great deal, really quick, really nimble with his feet, really clear with his mind. So it's just playing a makeshift 10. It's taken over Ozil's spot. And he's able to weave in through the traffic. He's not a tall guy, but what's brilliant with this team now is we have some taller lads. So to be able to have somebody that can weave through and then pass the ball like that to Aubameyang for the 3rd goal. What an assist. From the right-hand side to the left, bang, this pass just went brilliantly to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And of course, you know, Fulham didn't mark up on him, and it was like watching boys playing men. It was like kids taking their candy, seriously. It was so amazing. Just picked his spot. It's like, I've got a target. I'm just going to hit right there. Absolutely nailed it. And what I loved about the first goal, in particular, in that game, again, it's just this tenacity of Willian just going in, being in the right position, smashing the ball in the 6-yard box, even though it was saved. That presence there meant that everybody was targeted to him, and Lacazette came in and kicked a goal. I mean, when you can get your strikers, both of them, to kick goals in the first game, you know you're doing well. And it's a great way to get everybody pumped up for the rest of the season and confidence. But man, his free kick, unbelievable. This is just so unlucky that it hit the wrong part of the crossbar. Absolutely everybody was beaten. And this is a 32-year-old where Chelsea fans, a lot of them just banter him. And they're going, why have you taken him? We're glad we got rid of him. I'm telling you, man, some of these fans are absolutely deluded. If you're happy to lose a player like that, I mean, if he's good for Arsenal for a season and a half, even though he's got a 3-year deal, and we got him for free, fantastic transfer. And I reckon he's going to be an absolute superstar. He was my man of the match, for sure. Very closely followed by Gabriel. And you know what I love about this? Is that everybody goes on about, oh, he was really shaky in that first 2 minutes. Well, the guy can't even speak our language. And to be honest with you, I see no difference whatsoever with what he did there compared to the 72 million Van Dijk, who's just been doing exactly the same errors. The thing is, right, with Arsenal, one thing that we have that's brilliant compared to other teams, even though we're about to lose Emi Martinez, our goalkeepers are world class. Leno and Martinez are just absolutely on fire. And they can be because our defence lately has been making very, very few mistakes. So whenever they do, they can cover up for them because they're confident that they won't do it again. So they'll go in really, really hard. And they'll know that they'll give a stern word to the backliner or the central defender, and they won't stuff up. And I tell you what, after that, I'm sure Leno said, you can't afford to do that or I don't trust you. And Gabriel, man, is like, oh yeah, you don't need to worry. I understand now what that word means. It won't happen again. And boy, oh boy, he bossed it. A 6'4" bossing. And that header, excellent goal. 3 different goal scorers in that game nailed it. I can't complain. And you know what? I just love that left-hand side with Kieran Tierney as a sort of left defender, sort of a wing-back with Maitland-Niles together. Boy, it's just absolute strength. And Maitland-Niles, he's a big boy as well. I'm loving seeing this presence in this midfield. The only thing that I think we need to do is get a CDM. It'll be fantastic to get a Partey in. I would love to see that. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. If we get a Partey or an Awar in there, or, as they should say, or, that would be absolutely amazing for this team to be able to have strength in that midfield. So one of those players would be fantastic. I think 2, we would be going for top 3, for sure. But one of them, I think, will give the 4 a bit of a run. However, my predictions at this stage for the table goes as follows in the EPL. So I think after this weekend's results, even though Manchester City and United haven't played due to their Champions League and Europa League fixtures, I really see that Man City is going to finish on top. Liverpool's defence is too weak at the moment. If you're conceding 3 goals against Leeds, I don't think you've got a chance to be able to regain the EPL. I know it's one round, but I think it's going to be Man City, Liverpool. I think Chelsea have absolutely smashed the transfer market. They deserve very much to finish in 3rd position, and I think that they will quite easily, and I think it'll be very close between Liverpool and them. And I think it's going to be a toss-up at the moment between United and Arsenal for that 4th spot. I think United will just pip us, but that's fine. And I think now, I was saying earlier on that Arsenal is going to finish 6th. I think they will finish 5th. And I think Everton will be the draw card and they will finish 6th. And then the Spurs were irrelevant, man. Absolutely irrelevant. That was a pathetic game over the weekend. Absolutely irrelevant. They'll finish 7th or 8th. Unless something changes mentally up here. But that's my predictions. And I hope that you can join us every week with a couple of episodes on a breath of fresh footy from an Australian's perspective. Go the Gunners, and we look forward to seeing you with our guests throughout the next 38 weeks. I'm Matthew Neal, and this is a breath of fresh